The United Nations celebrated its first ever International Day of Peace last Saturday, and though its goal of global non-violence was not achieved, there are some who continue to work to make the dream a reality. Jeremy Gilley is one such person. He's the founder of Peace One Day that was launched back in 1999, and he joins us now from New York. Jeremy, the 21st of September this year marked the first day of peace. How successful was it?
I think it was very successful. I think that the world has now created a starting point for peace. This is the first ever global ceasefire, non-violence day with a fixed calendar date that our world has ever created. A starting point for global unity, for intercultural cooperation is an absolute given. If you build a house, you start with one brick. If we want to build peace, we should start with one day. If the United Nations want to unite the world, they need a starting point for that process to begin. And what we saw on Saturday was events going on in 67 countries around the world. We believe approximately 500 million people now are aware of that starting point. 22 governments in the world were committed to the process on that day. It was an amazing beginning. We had a wonderful event at Brixton Academy, which was webcast to the world with Dave Stewart and Jimmy Cliff. We're very pleased with the starting. Peace isn't something that will happen overnight. It's a process. But the people who are watching your show now know that the 21st of September on an annual basis is an opportunity for them as individuals to step into the peace process. And that's the first time that's ever happened. That's very important.
Fair enough, but how would that be translated practically on the ground when we look around us and see the violence in the Middle East, the violence in Kashmir, 23 people killed in a Hindu temple today? I mean, how does that, do you believe, translate itself practically on the ground, and can it?
Well, I think that it can. I think that if you look at past experiences where individuals have made a difference, where they've collectively come together and real change has happened, I think that this is what this process is about. I didn't expect on the 21st of September this year for governments to inspire us, to unite us, and for us all to follow. Who I believe are the real heroes are the individuals, are the teachers, are the parents, are the children who actually did something on that day. And I think that what you'll see is year after year that movement growing. And I think when that movement grows, government will follow, because government, importantly, want to do what the people want. This is a UN resolution, and we are listening at the moment about the importance of UN resolutions and how we should observe UN resolutions. The United Nations General Assembly created the first ever global ceasefire non-violence day. The language is very clear: commemorate and stop on that day. So let's hope that next year there is an improvement from the governments and the member states of the United Nations, and let's see how the people, continuously unite. We'll be doing another event next year, and for anybody watching, if you'd like to be involved in that process, send your commitment, no matter how big or small, to peaceoneday.org, and we will log it, as we've done this year with the events that happen in 67 countries. It's going to take time. Individuals can change the world, and we must come together, and we now have that starting point.
You talk about UN resolutions, Iraq violating those UN resolutions. I'm curious, what do you make of the position many take that, look, attacking Iraq, get rid of Saddam Hussein, will eventually bring peace and stability to the region?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a filmmaker. I had an idea a long time ago in '99 to see if I could make a film about trying to film and document the creation of the first ever starting point for peace, the first ever fixed day of peace. And we achieved that. I never set out. I had no expectation that we would. So making a sort of a judgment with my experience isn't, I think, the most sensible thing for me to do. I wanted to make a film, and we have made a film about how individuals can come together and create the first ever fixed day of peace on this planet, and that's what we've done. Who's right, who's wrong, for me to enter into that, for me to judge and make a decision, I think is incorrect. Peace One Day is an apolitical campaign. The film will not judge anybody. I think if you judge anybody and say who's right and wrong, then you create more of a divide. The 21st of September is a moment for government, intergovernment, non-government, sport, education, and individuals of our world to unite. Let us inspire the leaders of our world that the people want peace. You have 362 days before the next day of peace on this planet. That's plenty of time for all of your viewers around the world to unite, to tell us what they're going to do, and let's see that moment of global unity. Let's see that grow over the years.
Jeremy Gilley, Peace One Day. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome.